The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Time to welcome officially our guest to the show. You know, he's been in showbiz for 25 years. He hosts Deal or No Deal. He's the host of Nova podcast, It's All True, with his Mrs. Shezzy. He is the one, the only, Grant Denyer.
Grant!
Hey!
Was that better?
Hey, team, lovely. Yeah, that was good. Had some nice hype to it. Like,
Thank you.
It just, the way it went up at the end, it was celebratory. I felt good. I felt valued.
Thank you so much.
It was a good hype call out, actually. We were talking at the start of the week, Grant. Natalie is opening a gig for Joel Creasy coming up. We're talking about walkout songs. Now, that was quite a big hype that Natalie did. But would you have a song that you would walk out to if you had the opportunity to?
Yeah, it would. It's a throwback. It's an oldie, but it's a karaoke special.
All those small things? All those small things? No?
Blink 182. I never liked you anyway, Nathan. I would say Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh, wow. What a classic.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Every now and then I get a little.
What movie is that out of, by the way, when they do that?
Shit, it was a comedy.
Old school.
Wedding Singer? Old
And
school.
Wedding Singer as well, both of them.
Yeah, it's a good one. Hey, Grant, did you see during you were watching us on Zoom during that song and you saw everyone congregate towards one side of the studio? I'd like to welcome to the show, Sophie.
What was going on?
Sophie, come over here.
Sophie's doing work experience.
Sophie's doing work experience here. Now, Sophie, sit down. Have a chat.
Hello.
This is Grant Denyer, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
Why don't you tell Grant Denyer why we were all crowded around you, what you told us?
I got earlobe reductions.
No, you're going to ask.
Earlobe reduction?
Yes, you did hear that.
It's a thing.
Yeah, thing.
So
Definitely a thing.
she just got her ears pierced. She goes, I got my ear pierced. And said, wait, just now. She goes, no, rear pierced. And we're going, what? And then she said, yeah, I've just had my earlobes reduced now, Sophie. Tell me about it.
So I decided to get them reduced so it cuts out a triangle. And
Over your lobe.
So they basically cut
my
a wedge out and then reattach it.
yeah. Anyway, so at 24, I decided to do this, and now I've got re-pierced ears.
Have you ever heard
Were
of
you
such a
born?
thing?
No, she was not.
Were you
No.
born with abnormally
No.
large
No.
earlobes? Like, were you in the playground at school? Were you hanging off the monkey bars from your earlobes? Or
To me, I was, but to these
Yeah,
guys,
yeah. I said the only way to get earlobe reduction is if they are hanging past your boobs. You know, you've gone just a step too far in the National Geographic realm.
Yeah.
But Sophie is studying broadcasting. She's trying to break into showbiz. And after 25 years in the business, Grant, what work have you had done?
well, can your headphones still stay on your ears?
they're feeling very comfortable right now. I can confirm.
Hey, Grant, one thing that we hear from people in TV that sometimes people would ring in and complain about, you know, someone's haircut or whatever the case.
Women, mostly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever got any complaints or people telling you to do different things when you're hosting shows?
Yeah, I've been called lots of names over the years. I try not. I try not to. Mostly by Larry Emder, which is cool. And then, in fact, people think that the game show hosts all hate one another. Like we secretly meet in a back alley and just prison shank each other.
Oh.
But it's. To be honest, like when I broke my back in a monster truck crash, Larry Emder sat by my hospital bed many a day. And he would
Holding a
sit
pillow
and-
over your face.
reading your questions.
Yeah, trying to get you 400 jobs.
He would sing me songs, which I wished he wouldn't because he can't sing.
Well, I do remember I read an article a while back. I mean, I don't know. It was a presenter on one of the shows here in Australia. I think it was like a news presenter or a weatherman. But people were complaining because he was wearing skinny jeans, and they were writing angry letters because
People are hard to please, right? And I think this is why. Maybe one of the reasons why I've lasted 25 years in the game is you have the most amount of people hate you the least to survive.
That's right.
So if you're too good, they hate you. If you're not good enough, they hate you.
Yeah.
If you're too honest, they don't like you. If you're not honest enough, they can't relate to you. So it's like a high wire to try and survive in this game. It ain't easy, and to be honest, it's much harder for women. So yeah, it's a brutal game.
Can I see your lobes? Can you just turn your ear to the side?
Yeah,
Oh no, that's a good lobe.
That's a good. So you wouldn't need them reduced. You wouldn't need them.
Lobes,
So they're TV lobes. There, Sophie.
They're cute. I'm very jealous.
It's what you have now.
Yes.
You've got your
I
reduced.
had to pay though.
Well, did you take a picture of Grant Denier's earlobes to the surgeon
I
and say
want
that's
these.
what I
I want
want?
these.
The Deniers.
I want these.
Yeah.
He's
you
my
should see.
inspo.
Sorry, Grant. Yes.
You should see what Scrotox has done to me. It's a good outcome.
Hey,
Good
we've got the
outcome.
big screen.
Now his
We've
balls
got
just look like an elbow.
We're on Zoom.
white pants.
White
That's a
Pants
gutsy
is a brave
move. White
move.
pants is very brave. Hey, Grant, are you still racing cars?
Yeah, look, I don't do it professionally anymore. I put all my eggs in the TV basket. But yeah, I raced the Bathurst 12-hour at the start of the year. Raced for Lamborghini, and we won there in our category, which was cool. So yeah, it's still a thing.
Whose car is it you're racing? Whose Lamborghini?
Someone else's. They're the best. They're the best race cars.
I hear they're the best boats too. Someone else's.
Larry's got a hairdresser car. You should see it, mate. It is the lamest girly thing I've ever seen.
What is it? Like a Getz or something?
This little two-seater with the top down.
Oh, Thelma and
Mate,
Louise.
are you joking? Look at you. You're so cute.
Hanky tied around his neck.
Hey, let's talk about your podcast. You and Shezzy, do you jot things down on the fridge that is going to make the podcast? Like you just had an argument and go butter bread. Oh, that's right. You told me to take the bins out.
Yeah.
And I'm upset with you about
nothing-
it. How do you do it?
Nothing drives a relationship apart faster than doing a podcast with your partner.
Not right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But what the problem I'm having now is, and yeah, it's nice because we've got 3 kids, so you rarely ever have a chance to have an adult conversation, and parents will know this. So we put an hour aside each week to do it on the podcast to air our dirty laundry. But what's happened now is I can't lie anymore because my wife is now a fully certified medium, right?
Is she?
Yeah, and she's even going to London now to the most prestigious school in the world for mediumship. She's fully certified with honours.
Hogwarts.
And I can't lie. It does look like Hogwarts actually where she's going. But I can't lie anymore because she just asked the spirits, right? So
Nah, that's not right. That's like bringing
I went out
another
to the
person
pub.
into the
Mate,
relationship.
Your whole relationship is based on lies.
That's cheating. That's cheating.
you can't. You like. I go out for a couple of beers. She goes, "How many beers you had?" I said, "I had 2." And she goes, "Hang on a second. No, the spirit said you had 11."
No, also the fact that you just fell over
Exactly.
probably
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
what
Justin
just needed
Timberlake
spirits
getting in
for
the
that.
Maybe don't drink spirits and I'll stop jobbing on you.
In fact, I crashed Larry Emder's car.
So wait, there she went to the biggest medium school in that area. Like how?
Well, surely it's a large then.
When did she like start realizing that she had her powers? And then how do you have to pass some tests? Do they hold up like cards and go wavy line?
Yeah, how long does it take to get a black
circle?
belt?
What is it?
It's about 6 months. She studied with this lady who runs a course in Canada, right? So she was always weird, right? So she's always a bit of a strange cat. But now she understands what all those voices were in her head. She thought she was going mental, right? But as it turns out, she's always just had people trying to reach out with her. And what she really particularly loves is if she can help people who has recently lost someone. So we'll be walking down the street and she'll see someone and she'll go, "Did you just lose your auntie a couple of weeks ago?" They'll say yes. They go, "Did she buy you a blue jacket?" They'll say yes. She goes, "Okay." She usually gives them 3 pieces of evidence.
Yes.
And then goes, "Okay." She wants to just tell you that she really appreciated that the time you sat by her bed and sang her that song as she passed away. That meant a lot to her.
Oh.
And then the people just melt.
And then
it's
she
amazing.
charges them.
I come in, tap and go.
And you're like, deal or no deal?
It must be super awkward. She must feel awkward. Maybe she probably moved
Approaching
past this, but
strangers,
approaching
yeah.
someone if she's getting a feeling that she needs to.
Maybe it's the only way she can get them to shut up. The voices. Hey?
Yeah. It's brought her more. Knowing that she has this now, I think, has brought her more peace than she's ever had because she can give it a context as to what that stuff was going on. She was trying to shut it out before because she just thought it was part of being ADHD or whatever. But there's another benefit for us now too. We don't have to fly commercial anymore airlines. We just all hop on our broomstick.
And with the cost of fuel these days, I mean,
We love
that's
a
a
silver
bargain.
lining.
Oh, mate. All right, so everyone, you can check out Grant. It's All True Podcast.
Yes. That is what
on
it's
the
called,
Nova Network.
On the Nova Network. Deal or No Deal every night on Channel 10 at 6 o'clock, of course. Thanks so much. Congrats on 25 years in
Well
the
done,
biz,
Grant. Yeah, good stuff, mate.
No worries. I'm just going to go get my earlobes done after this.
Yeah, you should.
I'm self-conscious now.
So if he's got a surgeon for you, don't worry about it.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Giving Harry a bit of an education on Lisa Lobe. Stay, I Missed You.
That's
from the Reality Bites soundtrack. You've never heard it, Harry?
No.
This song?
And you've never seen the movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie.
All-time classic.
No, I'm a bit of an old soul, not this type.
Yeah. The reason why I brought up Lisa Lobe is I said we should play that when we talk to Sophie again. Sophie, get over here about her earlobe reduction.
If you missed our chat with Grant Denyer, she featured heavily there. So Sophie's a broadcasting student at Whopper, and she's doing work experience with this week.
She just did her first celebrity interview with Grant Denyer.
Hey, well done, Soph.
Thank you. On the topic of lobes.
On Lobes, on Lisa Lobe. So for people that missed it, tell us about the...
So I'm watching Sophie try to manage the headphones.
Tell us about
she's
the
struggling.
dramatic issue that you had.
I had 2 big lobes, so I got them reduced.
You didn't have big lobes.
I wanted smaller lobes, so I got a chunk cut out and glued back together.
So essentially,
Okay.
imagine look at your earlobes and then cut like a pizza slice out of them.
Yeah.
So a wedge,
Yeah.
and then the edges of that wedge where they're taken out, they then sew them together to make them smaller, right?
And I could feel him like pulling at my ear. It wasn't very pleasant.
Oh, so you're not knocked out for
you're
this?
not-
They do it.
No. You're
In the chair.
just local.
When you decide, were you born with massive
No,
earlobes?
Shaun, we
Or
saw
were you
the
wearing-
photos.
I know, but
But I think I know that lobes grow bigger when you get older.
You joking?
Yeah, but like
So
when
You're not
imagine-
old. You're 24, aren't you?
Imagine when I'm 80, though. The size
they'll
of
be-
them.
Well,
you get
they'll
them
be
done
touching.
then. You get
They'll be
them
touching
done
your
then.
shoulder bones. They'll be hitting your AC
She
joint.
showed us the photos of her previous lobes. There is not an issue at all. You went to the plastic surgeon twice, so tell him what you went the first time because you got too frightened to say what you wanted.
I got too frightened, so I just said, can you cut the slit and make it shorter?
So the slit of where your ear piercing is?
Yeah, because
So-
it was a bit long. And then I went home and I said, Mum, I didn't ask. I got too nervous. I didn't ask what I really wanted, but I've paid this consultation fee.
which is $250, so not
and then
insubstantial.
Mum goes, just go back. And I said, but I have to pay again.
Yeah.
Another $250. So when I got there, I just got it out straight away.
You just blurted
I
out.
blurted out. And he was like, yeah, we do them.
They do
But
them.
does he do them often? Did you ask him how often he does it?
He did say not frequently, but more frequently than you think. Because people obviously aren't as open about getting ear lobe reductions. Like, I'm sure you've met someone before.
And just not really.
Are you
No, they
sure?
haven't told us, Nathan.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Because when you met me on Monday,
Didn't know.
You
No
didn't
idea.
know.
No.
You
And
didn't
yours
look
was
at
only
me.
done a month ago,
Yeah.
so it's very fresh.
still fresh.
This is the thing. Some people must be so consumed about because you'd never had a problem with
Yeah,
your earlobes
no.
at all, but like you think you did.
But everyone
Yeah.
has some
pe-
insecurities.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people might look because you can get like the excess skin off your elbows taken off because you
I'm
know what
looking
they
at
said.
doing
They
that.
said if you want to know a lady's age,
Yeah.
you look at her hands and her elbows.
Check her wieners.
That's why I couldn't believe. That's why when I see women. What was that?
Her
Check her
weenus. That's
weenus.
a weenus, Shaun.
Moisturising the elbows is one of
Always
the
check
reasons.
for a weenus, Nathan.
And I always check
Shaun
for a
uses
weenus when I-
moisturising cream on his weenus.
and conditioner. Oh, that's a whole different.
We want to know
cheaper.
13 24 10 if you have if you had something fixed
Yes.
that no one else thought was an issue.
Yeah, don't say boobs. That's
We
too
don't want
obvious.
boobs. One of the normal things. We're talking
Hold
about
on,
like.
I'll hear that story.
We're talking about like weenuses or like, but some people get their nipples because
Yes.
they don't know where their nipples
Oh,
are.
nipped it.
I know somebody who they had 2 toes that were together and
Yeah.
they had them separated. But like you wouldn't notice that they were together because if you're just wearing regular shoes, you don't really notice.
Yeah.
It was like the second and third toes, and so they were, and then they had them surgically separated. So
You had
that then they
something,
looked
didn't you?
normal.
You had something that you were a bit paranoid. You were laying on your chest.
I
or
did. I
something.
had like 5 freckles, and so when I used to do swimming, I used to put my hand across my chest
because
I
you're
was-
embarrassed.
Yeah, I thought
It was
that
a
Then you
Satan.
realised they were in the shape of the Southern Cross. Couldn't be
Very
prouder.
proud.
Jen's in Kublai. Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Hey, mate.
Jen, have you had some work done, or are you focused on a part of your body where you're like, I need to fix this?
I have had some work done.
What was it?
So one of my feet was like noticeably wider, sort of near the toes than the other foot.
Yes.
And So I had the bone shaved down on the side of one of my feet so that my feet are now the same.
You had a foot reduction.
I never heard
Was
about
it giving
a
you
foot
any
reduction.
was it giving you any grief at all, or was it just
Shoes didn't fit
Yeah.
properly.
What?
It's just, one of them was really wide and then my other foot was super narrow, and it just, to me, it was very noticeable. To other people, I don't think they would have noticed.
Oh, my God. So when you were ever posing for a photo and they could see your feet, would you always hide one foot behind the other foot like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait there. Did anyone ever notice it?
No one's ever noticed it, but to me it was really obvious.
So-
I do have, one foot was quite narrow, so
Yeah.
the other one was noticeably lots wider.
And I suppose then when you're trying on shoes, you'll be able to feel it a lot as well. And it's like, oh, my God, I just wish they were the same
Yeah.
size. So when you went and got your foot reduction, 1 foot reduction, which, by the way, should have been half price, I'm guessing, because I'm wondering if you normally do them in pairs. But did the doctor do this quite a lot?
No, they literally just, peel the skin back and shave the bone off the side of your foot.
Yeah,
So-
but have a lot of people come in for that procedure?
A lot of people come in that have had, an extra bit of bone, like an extra toe that didn't quite form sort of thing, but
Yes.
not just to have it shaved down.
And you're not talking about bunions, are you? You're talking about
No.
your foot was wider.
Just my foot was wider
Amazing.
on one foot.
Did you worry about wearing thongs?
Oh, no, thongs are a no-go.
Sean.
Showing off your feet, embarrassed.
You don't want to show an extra wide man foot.
Thanks, Jen. We move on to Melissa in Freo. Hi, Melissa.
Morning.
Hi, Mel.
Melissa, you heard Sophie. She had some work done on her lobes. So what did you have done?
So I had work done on my dwarf ear. So I was born with quite a prominent point
Oh, yeah?
on the top of on the top of one of my ears.
Yes.
And it was quite...
Oh, okay, we're seeing it now. Yeah, we Googled
We've Googled it, yeah, very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite obvious that I used to get teased by one particular person in school.
no.
So
Only
You go
one.
to North Kalgoorlie Primary.
Shut up, Sean. I wouldn't have teased you. I love Star Trek.
So you would have looked a bit like a kind of a pixie vibe, yeah? That's what we're talking?
yeah, yeah. So I used to get... This one particular person used to call me dwarf ears.
honey.
And then I made the decision that I've had enough and I got it cut down. They couldn't get it rid of it completely because of the way the cartilage was folded over.
Okay.
But the plastic surgeon said he had never seen one as, prominent as what I had, that he had, took photos of it to share with
so
his other friends.
you're like a case study.
yes.
Like, this is as bad as it gets.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So your other ear was completely normal?
Completely normal. It's just,
Yeah, okay.
it
That's
was
weird.
just the left ear.
Were there many people before the surgery coming up to you, grabbing onto you and making a wish?
No, I never had that. No.
Nathan, it's lucky you didn't go to school with
That's a
Nathan.
missed opportunity.
I'm just saying it now because I'm doing it for the work.
Yeah. You set up your own stall at a fake.
Off the radio, I would never say that.
And never to her face,
Never
that's for
to your
sure.
face.
Thanks,
Sure.
Melissa.
I know what you're saying.
Barbara's
how
in
nice you are.
Beachborough. Hello, Barb.
Bye.
Hey, Bob.
Now, Barb, have you had some work done? What was it?
I certainly have. I actually had my left labia cut.
Oh, I had my right testicle done, so it could be a match.
So to reduce the size of it? Is that what you're saying?
Sean got one of those push-up testicles. It looks great in a halter.
Thank you, no.
So what happened?
Well, yeah, one was actually longer than the other, and you always just feel like you've got to tuck yourself in or move yourself across.
Okay.
So I just sort of thought, I'm just a little bit over it, especially when you're wearing nice underwear and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
It's lopsided.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So did you try using hair clips and things beforehand?
Hair
I
clips?
don't know, something. She said, I don't know.
Possibly with a bit of
I don't know,
Velcro.
clip.
I think what holds things in place, like a peg or something.
Some Velcro dots.
Hey, you're trying to come up with ideas, solutions focused.
Because there's some ladies right now listening going, wait, I've got that problem too, I can't afford the surgery, so I'm just trying to spitball something here.
I would suggest hair clips aren't the solution.
So now, you were saying before this could be an answer that we get when we throw out this
There
question.
was an article in the news not long ago about the fact that Gen Zers, there is a spike in Gen Zers getting this surgery. So,
because they're looking at porn.
Yeah, that's
porn
right. Perfection.
Perfection,
Yeah.
yes.
What is it? Does it hurt, Barb?
it would do, wouldn't it?
What's the after the surgery? Is it uncomfortable recovery?
It's almost like if you cup your hand, it's like a little cup. So they put like a G-string cup sort of thing on you, and you have to wear that around so that it's not damaging the stitches or anything like that. So you feel like you're wearing half an underwear, like a half a G-string or something like that.
How long's that for?
It's normally like a 6 to an 8 week process.
Yeah.
But then you're all even, right? So you end up, excuse me saying to you end up like they call it a designer vagina, right?
Yes.
You know, so that was many, many years ago, because I'm definitely not, you know, Gen Z or anything like that. But it was just, you know, it just looks better when you're in your underwear and stuff like that.
Well, you feel better, then that's what it's
Sean
about.
needs to see photos to prove it.
We've got it up on the board at the moment.
Can I be honest? It does bring me to this. When you get something done, like a new tattoo or a new haircut, you want to show people. How many people have you shown, Barb?
Oh, I've shown quite a few, actually.
Well, when you pay that much money
I'm
for
thinking
it.
about it. Who's the most inappropriate person that you've shown, but you just had to show them?
I suppose the most inappropriate person that I showed was my mum, actually.
I
was like, oh my God, she was mortified that I was doing something like that. But to sort of, I was also an entertainer as well. So being an entertainer, you know, so
you're on show.
Want everything to look good,
Yeah,
right?
of course. It's your work. It's your livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That is fantastic. I've never spoken to anyone that's said that before. And you know what?
Thanks for the
so
insight.
anyone that's thinking they'd like to do that, it's well worth it, is it, Barb?
Yes, it is definitely well worth it. And you know what? Just some little sideline stuff. They actually say that when they cut the labia, it actually gets used as an areola. Like they use that labia.
They reuse the tissue.
Yes, they reuse the tissue because for people who are getting or who have breast cancer, who have stuff like that, they actually use the labia to replace the
somebody's areola. That's amazing.
That's great.
Yes. What a organ donation. Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks, Barb.
Sean?
Barb, you're going to walk away with a $150 voucher to spend at Morris Mead. Get that into you.
Me?
You, Barb.
Barb. You know why? You deserve it.
You symmetrical little hot thing.
I know, you're perfection now.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
We heard rumours, and finally it has been confirmed that Peter Dutton's got an idea for Collie, and that's a great place to put a nuclear power plant.
Excellent.
Now,
I mean, the thinking is that because, you know, that's where the coal-fired power plant...
You'll just use the infrastructure
Yeah,
there.
just use the same infrastructure, which is, I mean, sensible on one hand, but then you go, I wouldn't want to live near that.
No.
Yeah, so there are people like Sean, you think that's fine, don't you?
Oh, I think I think the scare tactics of people thinking that it's going to be a blow up is wrong.
Would you like it next to your house? Near your
Well,
house?
it's not going to be next to your house.
No, but would you like it in your suburb?
In your community.
Because basically Collie's like in our big suburb. Would you like it in your suburb?
It's our. I don't know. I don't think we're used to it. See, if you were in any country in the world, you would drive past one on a daily basis and no one really
Peter
cared.
Dutton today is announcing there is one being put in your suburb.
No, I don't think I'd have a problem with it. Because it's not going to be what everybody... it's not going to be like The Simpsons at all.
The Collie locals aren't as easygoing as you.
Bloody stupid, actually.
I was like, are you kidding? I thought we were going away from all of this sort of stuff.
There is more unpopulated areas in Australia than what there are populated. You don't need to dump on people's doorsteps, any community's doorstep.
Tell Mr Dutton to put one in his backyard. Leave it out of ours.
So those people are not very happy. There was one guy that thought, maybe...
Yeah, well, you know, I'm going to get shot, but hey, I have no problems with it.
But even the local Liberal leader, Libby Madam, she's not on board.
We do not believe that nuclear power generation stacks up in Western Australia at this time.
So
it's up for people to then vote on it. And if they end up losing or don't win in the next however many years, then that's a decision that they decided to make.
It's the optics, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the optics.
And if it's your backyard that they're talking about, you can understand you'd be a lot more invested in that sort of stuff.
And there are people that say, you know, nuclear power is safe, but you know what? I'm sure people in Chernobyl were told that. And
I know we've come a long way when we look back in the future.
We don't know what's around the corner.
But we would hope
we
the
do know that technology is, and every other country is running it.
It wasn't that long ago something happened one in Japan? Remember?
Yeah, there was an earthquake and tidal wave. Yeah.
But it's a long time ago.
We get tremors here.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's also not 1950.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, 13, 24, 10, if you have ever lived near something questionable and then once you lived near it, you go, actually, it's not too bad.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was that bad.
Or it was
maybe
that
your
bad.
foods were found.
Maybe you thought, you know what, I'll get used to the smell of the abattoir.
When we were in Palmyra one day, there was a community meeting just over at the park, which is literally stone's throw from my house, and it was to do with people who'd been housed in our area that they thought might have been a danger to the community.
So it was a halfway house, wasn't it, for people that had left prison and were being
so that got everybody up and
to the
about.
community.
Nobody wanted these people living next to them within stone's throw of a kids' park or the other parts.
It's
of the community.
Very family-oriented area.
Yeah,
and what happened?
So they got the local member down there to voice their concerns and stuff like that. And I went over there to listen, but at the same time you're thinking, I don't want them to live next to me. Where else are they going to go?
Yeah, that's right. It's the NIMBY thing, isn't it? Not in my backyard, but I can go somewhere else.
Is that what that means?
Before I moved into my place was being built, the place next door, and it just sort of overlapped the time. That was a laugh therapy house where people would go and go,
at least they're happy, I suppose.
I heard it a couple of times, and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't have minded that.
Yeah.
It sounds like
it's the general.
Sounds like just like a rollicking
sound
good time
joy.
next door.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know how many sessions he had during the day and how late it was at night.
Yeah.
Apparently, it did annoy the area though.
There's going to be a certain point where you're sitting back and just going, I can't stand these pricks laughing all the time.
Exactly. Let's go to Ness in Joondalup. Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Oh, Ness. We're talking about living near something a bit contentious and whether it's really that bad or not. What's happened with you?
Oh, when I was growing up as a teenager in New South Wales, we had a house on a road, and at the end of the road was the local, I don't know if I can say it on radio, the local shitworks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah? That works.
The local sewage pond.
Yes.
Just as bad as what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just reeked all the time. And did you get used to the smell or not?
I reckon you sort of got used to the smell a little bit when you walk to school.
Yeah.
You go down this little beaten track and you don't open your mouth.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you don't know whether
just don't open your mouth.
Do you reckon that you would cling to your clothes and stuff?
Yeah. It was awful. Yep.
Oh. Yeah. It's not the same level, Nat, but around us, obviously, over time, or a few years ago, the New Zealand Love Boat, every time you get that whiff.
Yes, and especially if there's a little bit of rain and some wind, you would get the unbelievable smell.
When I lived in Kalgoorlie at Butler Street, my street was just down the end of it was the train line, and people were like, you don't want to live near a train line. I found it so relaxing to hear the clicky clacking of the train at night. It was just, and I got so used to it, and sometimes be like, Dad's home, because that was a train driver.
Thanks, Ness. Megan, hello.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Hey, great, Megan. Okay, did you live near something contentious?
I currently live near Tamala Park, and they said they were going to shut it down.
Is that stinky place?
It's a rubbish dump, isn't it?
It is. We get everybody's rubbish.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And it smells so bad.
Really? So, like...
It's massive too, isn't it?
Is there times in the day where the smell is super strong?
It's when it's hot.
Hot summer night.
Hot stinking rubbish.
Yeah.
Well, lucky it hasn't been a long summer this year.
Yeah, but it still smells in winter as well.
Yeah.
So what are they doing what are they doing to fix it, and what are they doing to move it on? Or are they moving it on?
They have promised it will be shut down in 2025.
Oh, that's
Don't
next
think
year.
that's going to happen.
Right.
Hey, Megan, have you known anyone in the area that's tried to sell their property and what it's done to their prices?
A couple of people, we met with our local member, and he just said, we're working on it, but everybody's like, it dropped our prices by like 100K.
Of course it would. Of course. Straight away you go there. I mean, you can't show anyone the house during summer without whacking a magic tree under their nose. That's insane. I would not move somewhere that stunk.
No.
Oh, to be honest, even if the house was $200,000 cheaper, I still wouldn't.
But what if you've lost your sense of smell? This is perfect.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect you.
Cheap house.
There's a lot of those people.
Some people did during COVID. They lost their sense of smell. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Be like if you lost your sense and taste as well, you can just eat anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about good food.
That's right.
Yeah. You just eat
Living in
bags
his
of
cheap
kale.
house.
Bags of just dull old kale.
Well, Ross always says he just eats food for living.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Not for fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Megan. Chris is in Treeby. Hello.
Hi, team. How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Okay. Have you lived near something contentious?
Yes. I can't beat the sewage works story, but I basically lived in Cape Town, on the west coast of Cape Town, which was close to the Coburg nuclear power station.
Oh, okay.
And I can tell you, it's so much cleaner than living close to a coal-powered station because you don't have the same air pollution. We actually got, as a community, a few opportunities to go to the nuclear power station, and it is so clean. It is so controlled as well. So I would definitely by far rather live close to a nuclear power station because they basically look the same.
Okay.
Except you don't have the same air pollution.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you can breathe easier.
Yeah. Talking about breathing, the gills you have now when swimming, is that amazing to be able to
Look, you joke about that, but they actually do tests and stuff all the time, you know, from testing the water to testing the air to testing the surrounds.
Yeah.
So it's actually super controlled and it is super clean. So you go into the power station, you can just picture like coal. Coal just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Chris, can you understand though, because Chris, in WA or WA, in Australia, being new, that everyone would be scared and apprehensive about something like that?
Yes, most definitely, because obviously anything to do with nuclear, you know, people get concerned that it's to do with arms.
Are we going to get blown up in a second? That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, the dangers involved. And I mean, definitely if I was in a place like Japan where they're prone to earthquakes, I would be really concerned about living close to a nuclear power station. However, the facility is actually built for those seismic activities.
Yep.
And as I say, if you go to a nuclear power station, it's just super clean. You know, it's not what people would think. However, like Nathan asked you, Sean, earlier, I don't know if I necessarily want to live next to any power station.
Yes.
However, I don't have an issue living next to a nuclear one rather than a coal power.
So if you had to choose,
Mate, you've been very informative.
Yes.
I was going to give you a high five, but I remembered who I'm talking to. So high 7.
Get on you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.